Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our online distance learning Algebra 2 here with Mr. Hagedorn. Lesson for today 9.3 angles and angle measure, but today instead of degrees what we're going to be talking about are radians. So to define a radian, I kind of put a little definition on here for us. It says defining a radian, or to define a radian, consider a circle with a radius r centered at the origin as shown. So if we think about it like this, here's our angle in standard position. Here's our initial side, and here is our terminal side with a radius r. 1 radian is the measure of an angle in standard position whose terminal side intercepts an arc of length s. So if we take a look at the arc length here, that would be an arc length of s. And again, here's our angle measure in theta. It says because the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, and there are 2 pi radians in a full circle, degree measure and radian measure are therefore related by the equation 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians. So for us to convert back and forth between these two, I've given you two simple equations, or two simple ratios to use. If you're going from degrees to radians, then you multiply your degree measure by pi radians over 180 degrees, and conversely, if you're going from radians to degrees, you multiply them by the ratio of 180 degrees over pi radians. So I have a couple examples down here for us that we'll take a look at. The first one is 75 degrees to radians. So the reason that we want to multiply it by the ratio that I gave you, and if we think about 75 as 75 over 1, we multiply that by pi radians over 180 degrees. Immediately what's going to happen for us here is we're going to cancel out these labels. So the degree measures are now gone. There's nothing left to do with those. So now all we'd have to do is the math, which means we multiply 75 times pi radians and have that over 180, which if we do simplify that down would leave us with 5 pi over 12, or 5/12 pi radians. The next example that we have is the same type of problem, but instead of having pi on top and degrees, or radians on top and degrees on the bottom, we flip it, because in this case we're looking to cancel out the radians. So for this problem, if we take our initial negative 5 pi radians on top over 4, and we take that times the 180 degrees over pi radians, again we notice that the label here and here cancel out, which leaves us with another math problem, which if we multiply that across and then simplify or divide out the 4 on the bottom, it leaves us with a final answer of negative 225 degrees. So simple conversions that you'd be able to use even a little bit further down the line in some trigonometric problems that we're going to be dealing with. The second screen I have for you really is no work. On the inside of the circle are the commonplace degrees, and on the outside are the commonplace radian measures that we are going to use in trigonometry. So the ones that you see on the inside are the most common degree measures, and the ones on the outside are the most common radian measures that you'll see, and we'll talk about a little bit more in our next lesson. So now, following up from what we talked about in our previous lesson, lesson 9.2, angles and angle measures and degrees, we're still going to talk about standard position, we're still going to talk about terminal angle or terminal sides of an angle, and we're still going to talk about the coterminal angles that we dealt with in our previous lesson. So here what I have for you are just some examples of how are we going to do this when given something in standard form, standard position, and trying to find the reference angle. Now if you recall from lesson 9.2, the reference angle is taking the terminal side of your angle and getting to the x-axis, the closest point to the x-axis. So in the first one we've got 3/5 pi radians, and we want to know what would be the reference angle for that. Well, first of all, we see that we are in quadrant 2. So remember, each one of these has different quadrants that it's found in. And when we're in quadrant 2, remember, the closest point that we have is the negative x-axis. So the question is, what would be the measure of the angle that would get us from the terminal side to the negative x-axis? And in this case, since if you look on the previous screen, we noticed that the negative x-axis is pi radians, well, what plus 3/5 would give us 1? The answer is 2/5. So the reference angle that we would find here in quadrant 2 would be 2/5 pi radians. All right, let's take a look at the next one. The next one brings into play what happens if you have more than 2 pi radians in your angle measure. So 19/4 pi. Remember, one full circle is 2 pi. And since we're dealing in fourths, that would be like saying, how many 8/4 pi do we have? Because 8/4 is 2 pi. So in this case, notice there's not only one, but 2 full rotations and then back to the terminal side. So if we take out 2 full rotations in fourths, that would be 8/4, then it would be 16/4. So the angle measure that we would have from here to the terminal side would be what's left over of that, which would be 3/4 pi. So really what we're looking for now is, how much do we have left to go? Well, again, this angle measure is found in quadrant number 2. So really what we're asking for is, how much further is it to get from that terminal side down to that negative x-axis? So since the final rotation that gets us there past 2 pi is 3/4 pi, what plus 3/4 gives us 1? The answer would be 1/4 pi, or pi over 4. The third example that I have up here is negative 2/3 pi. So this is just an example that shows what happens when we go the other direction. So in this case, this angle is actually found, or the terminal side is found in quadrant 3. So with the terminal side being found in quadrant 3, we again are asking ourselves, how much further is it to get to that negative x-axis? Now remember, even though we are going in a negative direction, all reference angles are the positive. Okay, they're on the positive side of it. So in this case, even though we're moving in a negative direction, we're going to just take the positive value of that, or we're going to take the absolute value of what we have left, which in this case would be 1/3 pi, or pi over 3. And then last but certainly not least, the final example that we have is 59/18 pi. Now some of these are a little bit more than the others. You're not going to always see these kind of measures, but I just want you to be aware of them and remember that everything always goes back to 2 pi. So in this case, 59/18 pi, one full rotation in 18ths would be 36/18 pi. So you see that we have one full rotation in our spiral and then all the way back into the third quadrant. So really what we have left after that first full rotation of 36/18 pi, right here, what would leave us with there is 23/18 pi. So once again, like we did before, since we are in quadrant 3, we are going to ask ourselves, how far back would it be to the negative x-axis? And in this case, again, since it's always going to be found in a positive measure, the absolute value of that would be 5/18 pi. So that would be how you would find those reference angles. And again, as I mentioned before, we're going to be using these reference angles and how we found them in our next lesson. So the last thing that I have for you here, again, dealing with this and dealing with kind of looking ahead to where we're going to be, is coterminal angles. Coterminal angles are angles that have the same terminal side and are separated by 2 pi radians. Okay? So here, the first one, we are going to state whether they are or are not coterminal. And the easiest way to think about that is, are they separated by 2 pi? So in this case, in order to figure it out, what we'd have to do is we'd have to take 41 pi minus 5 pi over 18. So in this case, if we do the subtraction, we end up with 36/18 pi, which is exactly 2 pi. So are these coterminal? The answer would be yes, because they are separated by 2 pi or some multiple of 2 pi. Now, to find a coterminal angle, it's as simple as adding or subtracting. So in the first example that we have, or the first example of finding that, or adding and subtracting, is 27/10 pi. So in this case, if we are going to be adding or subtracting, we have to do it in the denominator that's given. So 2 pi written in tenths would be 20/10 pi. So since 27/10 pi is greater than 2 pi, we're going to subtract. And in this case, when we subtract, 27 pi minus 20 pi is 7 pi. So the coterminal angle for this one, found between 0 and 2 pi, would be 7/10 pi. And then the last examples I have here for you are just finding positive or negative coterminal angles. Again, like we did with degrees, it's simply adding and subtracting. So for the positive, in the case of -5/3 pi, we are going to have to add 2 pi and subtract 2 pi. But again, remember, with the denominator, it's given in that form. So here we would add 6/3 pi, because in thirds 2 pi is 6/3 pi, which would give us our positive coterminal angle of 1 pi or 1/3 pi. And for the other one, if we were to subtract it, so we would subtract 6 pi over 3, that would give us an answer of -11/3 pi. For the other one, for the 3/7, same exact thing, but now instead of dealing with 6 pi over 3 because of the denominator being 3, we have to figure out what would our 2 pi be in sevenths. And again, that's as simple as just taking 2 times the denominator. So in this case, it would be, we're going to start by adding 14/7. So 14/7 plus 3/7 would give us our first positive coterminal angle, which would be 17/7 pi. And for the other one, we'd simply have to subtract the same number. So in this case, we would subtract 14/7 pi. So 3 pi minus 14 pi would give us our answer of -11/7 pi. So hopefully this lesson went pretty well for you, since it's a lot of the same concepts we had from lesson 9.2 when dealing with angle and angle measures in degrees. Again, please take your time. Make sure you go through your worksheets. If you do have any questions, please make sure you let me know next time we meet. And as always, stay healthy and stay safe. Lord's blessings on your day. Bye now.